Now in this video, what we're trying to demonstrate is a difference between the use of tick bars versus share bars. And this is really quite a meaningful piece of information because of the way in which the studies are calculated depending upon what method you're using. Now we have on screen a 6,760 share bar versus tick bar. We have both our zones as well as a stochastic. Now depending upon what you're trying to achieve, if you're using a share bar approach, you can see that the zones, by and large, are well within the boundaries of movement. Okay, using share bars, it's more responsive than a tick bar. But now look at the tick bar. This is the whole day. Only once here and then here did you possibly get into the zones using this tick bar interval. You had, during the course of the day from about 8 o'clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, roughly 8 pivots on the stochastic. Considerably more using a share bar. Now, is one right versus the other? Not necessarily. It all depends on what you're trying to achieve. When you're using a share bar, you're going to see a lot more volatility. So the reason this is going to come up is because of the SEN charts. When you're working with our SEN charts, you know that there will be times when you can no longer get a group reversal. For example, now during this rally up on this particular group reversal chart, we went into gold at the top. Very unlikely that we're going to get any kind of a group reversal up here as the market is continuing to move up. So it may be necessary, depending upon where your other charts are, to readjust whether you're using a tick bar or a share bar on this particular chart. So now here are your SEN charts, and if we decide that we need to make an adjustment, let's say we're here on this particular chart. This is the 6760 chart, and if we decide that we're going to change from the current tick bar arrangement to share bar by going to volume, and therefore the share bar approach, if we decide to do that, everything in that every study that's being generated off of this chart is going to be modified. So this would have been the way in which that chart was being calculated, and now it's going to turn into this chart when you make that adjustment from tick to share. Now, is there a solution to this? Well, that would presume there's a problem. This isn't a problem. It's just a situation that you need to be aware of. When you make that adjustment, whatever it is that you're tracking, whether it's the MACD, stochastic, DPO, APZ zone, whatever you're tracking is going to be calculated in a different fashion, and it's going to produce different results. So you just simply need to be aware of that. Now, in the SEN charts, as you saw just a moment ago, we've got each of these SEN charts set up just a little bit differently than that which we used in the past, and we'll make that a subject of a separate video here in just a moment. But let's just first of all be aware, by switching from tick to share or share back to tick, it's going to change the way each of the studies are calculated. So take that into consideration when you decide to make that change. Other than that, it's a pretty simple approach. So let's now go back and discuss more about the SEN charts themselves and how we've modified the new SEN charts.